Welcome to SVGTV News for Friday, May 11th, 2018. I am Jennifer Richardson. Recent incidents of sexual assault and abuse, particularly against minors, have reopened a conversation on whether this country should establish a sex offenders registry. SVGTV's Sharon Garway spoke with the president of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Human Rights Association on the matter, and she files this report.
In concern that persons have become numb to reports of sexual assault of minors, President of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Human Rights Association, SVGHRA, Samantha Robertson, said it seems that sex offenders are becoming more brazen. In an interview with SVGTV News, Robertson expressed concern over what she described as a rape culture, saying that this must be addressed to deal with the predators.
I think what is on the forefront and in a lot of the citizens' minds is the prevalence of abuse, particularly to the young ones, and when I say abuse, I mean rape, the rape allegations, the child molestations. I am concerned about the nonchalant way that we as Vincentians go about when we hear allegations of rape and sexual assault, as if it's the norm. I am not saying that these things are not happening. I'm sure that they are happening. But we have to tread carefully. But be that as it may, I find that we have here a rape culture. I think it is too prevalent. I think whereas we have to safeguard the victims.
The attorney strongly touted the need for a sex offenders registry, which she said will ensure that persons, especially minors, do not interact with predators.
Because you have a duty to protect the citizens of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And we have to know who is capable of or who has done what. I wouldn't like to have my children, my child, as a matter of fact, go into somebody's home who is a known sex offender. So we have to look at the broad spectrum.
The president of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Human Rights Association, however, said that such a registry must be established with the greatest caution, in that persons are given a fair trial and convicted before being placed on the sex offenders list.
So, for example, if the person is convicted in a lower court and he goes to, or she, because I don't want to feel like if I just think only men alone are rapists or sexual offenders. I think the last resort, once they've gone to the highest level of appealing, so say to the Privy Council, and their conviction is not overturned, right? So it's reaffirmed. Then I think that they need to be placed on a registry. But if they have not exhausted their means of appeal, then I don't think it should be on it. So, say for example, if Joe Blow says, listen, you know what, I plead guilty, fine, put his name down because he pleaded guilty. If somebody pleads not guilty and they don't want to exhaust, and after all the days and the time limits have expired and they have not taken up that option as to go further and have they revisit the conviction, for want of a better word, then by all means put it on the sex offenders registry.
The most recent incident of sexual assault was reported yesterday involving the alleged abduction and rape of a child in the North Leeward area. Sharon Garway reporting for SVG Television News.
Police here are investigating what they say is the sudden death of a 32-year-old Jetonia Thomas of Curtains, Barrowley. The police said in a news release that the woman's common-law husband, Paul Stevens, called them to the home after he reportedly found Thomas motionless around 5:56 a.m. yesterday. Thomas was found in the living room lying on her back, and there were no visible marks of violence on the body. A postmortem is expected to be performed on Monday next week to establish the cause of death. Prime Minister Dr. Rav Gonsalves this week attended an international two-day meeting in Venezuela to discuss reparations for slavery. Venezuela has been hosting the meetings after President Nicolas Maduro's proposal a few months ago for an international plan to repair and protect the rights of the African community that was damaged through slavery and colonization. Ian Bruce, a correspondent for Telesur News Agency, spoke to Prime Minister Gonzalez, who said the case could be taken all the way to the Criminal Court of Justice.
The reparation movement is about repairing the legacy of underdevelopment as a consequence of native genocide and African slavery. And once it is put in those terms, persons can see with clarity what it is about, that the real conditions today have a direct connection with what happened centuries ago, because it's not easy to erase the effect of native genocide and African slavery in such a short period of time. And we need help to repair this legacy of underdevelopment. And the countries which profited, the European countries, they should be the ones to be providing reparations, repairing, in collaboration with us in a partnership.
So how will this initiative connect with the existing CARICOM?
Well, this one will help to in a sense give more life and broaden the discussion, because the discussion is not just legal, it is political and it's diplomatic.
So what are the next steps?
Well, we in CARICOM, we have a commission, and we are proceeding with our work in diplomatic terms, in educational terms, and hopefully we will get shortly today ICJ, the International Court of Justice. If as a consequence of our mature conversation with them, we don't come to an understanding or a resolution.
So you're planning to take it to the ICJ?
Yes.
Supreme Court?
Yes. We intended to take it to the ICJ within the framework of international law.
Head of the Mental Health Rehabilitation Center, Sister Elizabeth Medford, has said the public must be educated on the number of services provided by the nation's nurses, thereby giving them the recognition they so deserve. Sister Medford was speaking at an exhibition today, which was held in commemoration of International Nurses Day, which is celebrated on May 12th globally, as well as to culminate Nurses Week locally.
So we want to sensitize the public so that they will be aware of what we have to offer and they can access it as necessary, right? We also showcase mental health, where we are actually doing some assessments today for anxiety and depression. And these are things that if you catch it early, you can treat it so that you don't go on to develop mental illnesses. So we're actually doing some anxiety and depression assessments for persons who would like to do it today. And we're showing them the different things that we do at mental health. We have occupational therapy, where we try to rehabilitate the patient. We make brooms, we use tires to make different things. So we have a showcase there with the work that we do in trying to rehabilitate the patients. We also have the Retired Nurses Association. They still contribute in helping to monitor the public blood pressure and blood sugar testing. We have the Nurses Association. We have the school to tell the public what you have, the requirements for coming into the nursing school, what the program is all about. And now we are just taking it a step higher, where we are now going to, from September, we'll be offering a bachelor's program, which is something new and a higher level of education.
Sister Medford further encouraged all nurses to strive for excellence as they carry out their work.
Well, what I will say to my nurses, like I always say, is that we have to continue to strive for excellence, right? We have to make sure that the care that we're giving is evidence-based and that we're going to have better patients' outcome. We have to get to the point where we treat all patients the same, right? And we have to practice according to the international standards, which we're doing, right? And we're encouraging them to upgrade their education. If you're just a registered nurse, go on and do a bachelor's, go on and do a master's, because with knowledge comes skills, and so you're able to produce more, give a better quality of nursing. So I want to encourage all the nurses to continue to do your best and to continue to excel.
Chief Nursing Officer Peggy Da Silva said it is important to celebrate the sacrifices and achievements of the nation's nurses and encourage those who wish to join the profession to develop a love for people.
International Nurses Day celebrated May 12th every year. That is the birthday of Florence Nightingale. She's the founder of formal nursing. So we are here today as the nursing fraternity to commemorate International Nurses Day. The theme this year, according to the International Council of Nurses, is Nurses, a Voice to Lead. Health is a human right. So we decided to have a showcase here today to showcase nursing and nurses' advocacy for health and healthcare in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We have to remember nurses is a profession, it is a career, and anybody who wants to come into nursing, they must have that caring component to them. Always remember that nursing is a caring profession. It's not just something that you should be there for money, the monetary gain, but it is a caring profession. So we must always remember that aspect of nursing. Apart from the academics, you must want to do nursing because it's a caring profession.
The St. Vincent Cocoa Company will make its first shipment of cocoa to Europe on Friday, May 18th. Some 10 tons of cocoa beans will be shipped to Amsterdam, its first export to the international market. The company's managing director, Andrew Hadley, sharing this information at a news conference today, said the local cocoa is already gaining popularity in the United Kingdom. Hadley said the company always aimed to sell its produce on the European market and added that the St. Vincent cocoa was used by the Prestat Chocolate Company to make Queen Elizabeth's Easter egg 2 years in a row.
We believe the time is now right to expand into the European market. So I am pleased to announce that we will be launching at a prestigious event televised by ITV, the UK's largest commercial channel. This is quite an honour, for only 2 other companies were invited alongside ourselves. Both of them are far larger than us. Our new brand will be called Islands Chocolate. In addition to the 72%, we will be introducing 2 other bars. 85% extra dark chocolate and 80% with cocoa nibs. In time, we expect to have many others, and our factory is already experimenting with locally produced ingredients such as coconut, mango, and my favorite, a sunset rum and raisin.
Meanwhile, Minister of Agriculture Saboto Caesar, hailing the Vincentian chocolate bar as a flagship product for St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the region, congratulated the St. Vincent Cocoa Company for remaining resolute over the years.
Something that every single Vincentian, we have to be proud about this. You know, sometimes I attend meetings at the level of the OECS, and when colleagues meet you, after giving you a warm embrace, the next thing they ask you, they whisper, did you bring any chocolate from St. Vincent and the Grenadines? I want to encourage the farmers to continue in our national quest to diversify with bananas. There are many farmers who have started the process, and some have partnered so far with the St. Vincent Cocoa Company. And the reports I'm getting, I've received a lot of good reports. In fact, some farmers are saying the mistake they made is that they didn't plant more.
With the St. Vincent Cocoa Company having already invested some 15 million EC dollars into the industry, Minister Caesar further emphasized the significance of the cocoa industry to the local economy.
When we're speaking about money, when you hear about the $15 million, we can't look at it in isolation. We have to look at it in the context of other monies that we have received as grant funding to see the significance and the impact that it has already created. In closing, I want to note that it is an established fact that the St. Vincent Cocoa Company is the largest single employer of workers in the agriculture sector as a company, a single company. There's no other company in St. Vincent and the Grenadines within the agriculture sector that employs more persons than the St. Vincent Cocoa Company. That's not me making that up. That's not a dream I had last night. That is a fact.
The St. Vincent Cocoa Company plans to make shipments of cocoa to Amsterdam twice this year and increase to around 5 to 6 shipments in 2019. Meanwhile, agronomist at the St. Vincent Cocoa Company, Garnet Jeffers, has given his company's pledge to conserve this country's fine flavor cocoa credentials. Jeffers said that SVG is not only fortunate to have ideal conditions to produce excellent cocoa, but also a superb genetic material handed down from cocoa plants that existed before the banana era.
Opportunity to work the forefront of research and development of cocoa in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, linking in with the main research institutions around the world. We just genetically tested many of our trees. We found that our fine flavor credentials exceed that of even Trinidad or Grenada. Indeed, these levels are not found outside the local areas of South America where they originated. Indeed, some are super rare on the world market. One of these is one of the original cocos, extremely rare and nearly extinct outside small areas in Peru.
Jeffers pointed out that the company aims to develop cocoa strains that will adapt well to local conditions and attract increased returns on the international market.
We have established gene banks and nurseries at strategic locations around the country, from which we are taking material to plant in the field. This amounts to 25,000 per month. Each and every one are labeled so that we can monitor progress and also select the resultant cocoa for different customers. This is just the beginning. An exciting and sustainable future of development and innovation and discovery awaits us.
Members of the Goodwill Fishermen's Cooperative will be invoking God's blessings as they begin a week of activities leading up to Fishermen's Day 2018. The activities begin this Sunday the 13th May with a church service and will be followed up on Monday the 14th May with the presentation of gifts of fish to preschoolers in Rose Place and a lecture that evening at the Kingstown Anglican School. Other activities will involve blood pressure and blood sugar checks on Tuesday, a lecture on safety at the Red Cross headquarters, and presentation by the NIS on Wednesday the 16th May. Friday the 18th May has been reserved for Fish Night at Rose Place, and the children in the community will be engaged in a fun day on Saturday the 19th May. The activities of the Goodwill Fishermen's Cooperative will run parallel with those planned by the Fishermen's Day Committee to mark Fishermen's Day 2018. Among the national activities is a beach seine competition and a hats off to fishing competition scheduled for 15th May. The female and junior fishing competition will be held on May 19th. Fishermen's Day celebrations will climax on Monday the 21st May with Monday. Mothers at the maternity section of the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital will be treated with care packages this Saturday, just in time for Mother's Day on Sunday the 13th May, thanks to Sir Optimus International St. Vincent and the Grenadines. President René Batiste said the all-female non-profit organization has been assisting particularly those in need since it was established here over 30 years ago. She said since 1998, among other charitable activities, they have been given care packages to females at the medical and surgical wards at the hospital.
We adopted the female surgical and the female medical wards, and we always give them supplies. But for Mother's Day this time, we are going to Mat A and Mat B to deliver care packages for newborns on the day before Mother's Day. Actually, we'll be doing that. From time to time, we get sort of requests. Could Sir Optimus help a particular young mother that would need some care? And so we spoke with Sister Sir Optimus, who is in the United States, and Sister Miriam Roach was able to follow through on that solicitation, and we got these care packages. So we thought, well, we would take those care packages. What we do as well in previous years and at Christmas time, we would take a treat and we would take toiletries to female surgical and and female medical. It's called our Adopt a Ward program, and that has been going since about 1998 or thereabout when that program was instituted.
Batiste added that the Etiquette Summer School for Young Ladies, which has been recognized as best practice in England, will be hosted again in July.
We're preparing our plans for our July summer school, where we hold summer school for young ladies in teaching them social graces, etiquette, and protocol. And they, in turn, will do a day of good care for persons. The last year they went to Lewis Bonnet Home. They haven't yet selected what will be their care project this year. And we in St. Vincent actually got accolades at the international conference which was held in England, where they were pleasantly surprised by having this type of project, so it was looked upon as a best practice in seroptimism internationally.
And as persons here get ready to celebrate Mother's Day this Sunday, SVG-TV News team took to the streets of capital Kingstown and spoke to some persons on their opinion of the qualities of a good mother.
Nothing else than spending time with your kids. Spending time with your kids. Very important. Spending time with your kids. Not the teachers, you mothers. Parents and a whole. But mothers, spend time with your kids.
Number one thing in a woman's life, in my opinion, should be respect for herself, for her husband, for her children. Once that is established, everything else could flow after, because love is natural. But you could say you love a child or love a child and not respect them in a way that you degrade the things they see, or the things that you do degrade yourself, and they look at you differently. A lot of people mightn't see it that way. But for me, generally, what makes a good mother is what makes a good woman. Respect, gotcha.
Teaching them right from wrong, ensuring that, for example, the father trying to not really discipline mostly, but like correct the child, not trying to take the child's side, trying to be supportive. That I understand that parenting in just a one role thing is more two roles, mother and father. You need two of them.
And as they commemorate Mother's Day on Sunday, and the different qualities that I know they have possessed, but most of all, it's a mother's love. It's unconditional, no matter what the child may have done. The mother is always there, always at the beck and call of the child. And I think that in respect of all our qualities, it's her unconditional love, her compassion, and her loyalty to children, essentially, will encapsulate what it means to be a good mother.
Just loving, kind, tender, caring.
All right.
Well, happy Mother's Day to every mother, including me.